It's a good thing. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme. Back with a smile. You gotta love it. Back again with another video right here on the official Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel. YouTube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video. Hit the subscribe button down there. You know where it is. In my pants, otherwise known as the scratch marks below. We are getting close to 850 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. 9 away. Hopefully we can get there by the end of this month or sometime before SummerSlam. We're hoping, but we'll see what happens with that. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment if you wish, but if these stupid comments, you're going to get treated like a stupid bitch, get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely, and then Satan will eat your soul! So please do not do that. Be respectful of my rules, and if not, go back to your channel with 25 subs and nobody gives a fuck about. Or go to your channel with how many other subs you have that nobody gives two fucks about. Just get off mine. We don't need you here. Fuck you. And that's that. But for everybody else that is a normal human being and respectful and wants to leave a comment, you can do that. And that's pretty much it. Follow me on social media, Facebook's Twitter, I can't even talk today. Facebook, Twitter, this must be the teeth. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, you might have to get slapped in the face because you, fat boy, and you other pieces of shit, you're SOL. You know what that means, and if you don't know what it means, you might get slapped again because you need to look it up too. But that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. And if you're new here, if you're just coming to my channel for the very first time and you think about subscribing, please do. Smash that like button, stick that thumb straight up all the other people that don't like me's collective assholes. Though some of them might like that. But that's another story for another time. But stick that thumb straight up the wahoo. And subscribe, leave a comment if you wish, and all that other good shit I said before. And as we say in the business, when you do subscribe to my channel, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, get that cold one, monster. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, fuck off. And go to your dead channel, or go to somebody else's channel and do your shit there. Not gonna do it on mine. That's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I want to apologize for the lack of videos lately. I've been very busy living my life, basically. Yesterday, had a day off of work. Today, had a day off of work because I got my teeth fixed! You notice? How did you get your teeth fixed? You look like an idiot! Look like an ogre! Hey, you guys! Not anymore. Got them fixed. I have to go back in a couple weeks. These are temporaries. These are temps. So I get the actual permanent partial teeth in a couple weeks. So that's another adventure. But at least I got them fixed. At least I'm fixing myself. You know, I got my mental health to worry about. That's gonna take a very long time to fix. And with my physical ailments, which are still, you know, I got chronic arthritis, so there's days where I'm in a ton of pain, but I still can work-ish. You know, I just gotta pace myself. And it's good that I work from home, so I can make my own schedule, so I can work tonight if I wanted to, but I'm taking a day off. And I have the weekends off, and I have holidays, so I get paid, so... And I got a lot of sick time, so it is what it is. But my PTO is coming up, so I gotta take that in about a month from now. So I'll be taking a little vacation from this lovely website of YouTube coming up. Probably about 6 weeks. But no, actually, take that back. 4 to 6 weeks. I'll be taking an actual vacation. How many days? You wish you knew. It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be a week, it could be a month. Who knows? Some of you wish it would be a lifetime, and it ain't happening. But August, between July and August is usually my vacation time, but I am taking a vacation around in about a month from, let's say about a month from now, because I am taking a mini vacation where you wish you knew, and when I'm coming back, you will not know. So I could come back. I could go on vacation for like 4 days and then come back the next week. I was like, I thought you were coming back in 4 days. No, and I took an extra couple days to myself. That's why they call it a staycation. So, but yeah. Well, my vacation is coming up, and I can't wait for that. It'll be very exciting, very exciting. Like all the other stuff's coming up in my life. Like, this weekend, we got Supercard of Honor coming up in about an hour, basically, because we got the pre-show in Texas, the Ring of Honor 0 hour before Supercard. We got SmackDown at the same time tonight, the go-home show before tomorrow's, tomorrow night, Saturday night's main event, and Evolution 2, Electric Boogaloo on Sunday night, and also got NXT, Great American Bash at the same time, which sucks, as All In. That sucks. And what makes it even worse for AEW, I read a story on Ringside News that Forbidden Door weekend ain't gonna be pretty because NXT Heatwave is gonna be a pay-per-view and it's running at the same time as Forbidden Door. Why? Well, Nick Khan and Triple H, Paul, Mr. Levesque, they want competition, they want to really screw AEW up every fucking weekend, or every weekend of a big show. So Forbidden Door is August the 23rd, which is going to be the same time as NXT's next pay-per-view after Great American Bash, which is going to be Heatwave. So Forbidden Door, depends on what the card is, might get overshadowed by Heatwave. Like this weekend, I think All In is going to overshadow NXT Great American Bash, and maybe Saturday night's main event. So, but I think All In should and could be the pay-per-view of the weekend. But we shall see with Evolution, because it's almost sold out, which is crazy. Because they weren't selling tickets at all. And now, with that big oomph on NXT, with the women at the end of the show beating the crap out of each other, they got a little kick in the ass, like, oh my God, let's get some tickets! Now it's basically almost sold out. So, should be a great weekend. I'll be doing my Ring of Honor Supercard predictions in a little bit, along with All In, because I want to get those two done quickly. Then, after SmackDown, I'm going to do another episode, probably I believe it's my 75th or 76th show of the Shadows Lair. So we get the Diamond Show, bang. I wanted to do a special show, but I'm going to do a prediction show. But I will be doing a post-Diamond Show. Well, I'll figure it out. But anyway, got that prediction show coming up a little bit. After SmackDown, I'm going to be doing my NXT and Saturday night's main event predictions. And then Sunday, early Sunday afternoon, because I do have to go out early Sunday, I will be doing my Evolution predictions. And then I'm going out to lunch with my mama. And the missus, of course, we're taking my mom out to lunch on Sunday. So, after we come back, I will be doing, before Evolution, I'll do my, I got a lot of reviews in that time frame, so it's going to be insane. So I'll try to get everything I can. I might just do an All-In and Great American Bash review. And then, after Evolution, I'll do, Saturday night's main event and Evolution review, and then Monday I'll do Ring of Honor, and then hopefully get back to some sort of normal schedule. But it's a crazy weekend, so let's get into it. Really quickly with this particular video on the Peter Joseph channel. Thanks for watching. I'm Peter Joseph, your wild and sexy host with a clean smile. Clip the pics, I dare you. That's all you can do. And then use it for your garbage videos. Don't cry when it goes wrong. That's all you can do is take my pics, and videos, which is illegal. It's fair use! Actually, it's not, so. I mean, I don't really care too much, but. Congrats on getting the clout views off my name. Because that's all you can get, because anybody else you talk about rarely gets that many views too, but, I mean, I care less, but you're welcome. So, I expect an apology. Not an apology, well, some people, yes, an apology, but other people, a thank you, and, I would ask for royalty checks, but, whatever. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to SmackDown tonight and Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor, it is time. Let's go back a couple days. It is time for a twofer video. It is time for your official AEW Dynamite and Collision reviews for this past Wednesday and live Thursday shows on July the 9th and 10th, 2025. Alright, these are the official go-home shows before tomorrow afternoons, not tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoons, all in basically the WrestleMania of AEW, emanating from Global Light Field where the Texas Rangers play. That will begin at 1 p.m. The 0 Hour show will begin at 1 p.m. Not that anybody's going to watch that, because we're going to wait till 3 o'clock with the main show. But we got that. We'll talk about the 0 Hour predictions on my all-in review later tonight. And that's that. Alright, moving on. Alright, so let's get to Dynamite real quick, which is, both shows are pretty good. Actually. Not great, but good. Alright, so Dynamite and Collision emanated from the Curtis Colwell Center in that great city of Garland, Texas. Yep. Scared in, Cowboys, those nuts. Alright, our commentary team, back to kind of the original commentary team of the men behind the mask. Excalibur, the biggest Met fan I know, well, he wasn't happy yesterday with that doubleheader sweep by the Orioles. Ugh. But they're playing Kansas City tonight. We'll see what happens tonight this weekend, which is the final games before the All-Star break. So hopefully, the Mets right now are, I believe, 1.5 back of Philly. Hopefully, Philly does horrible this weekend in San Diego. Mets can, pull, hopefully sweep Kansas City, because even though Kansas City's, so we'll see what happens with that. But hopefully by Monday, the Mets are close to first place, or in first place. Or completely, way out. They could be 4.5 games out if, the Phillies play their cards right this weekend. Which it might be a bad thing for the Mets, even though it's the first half now. But then the Mets don't play until next Friday at home against the Reds. So, yeah, the first half of the baseball season is done. Pretty much on Sunday. And then we'll start the second half of The Price is Right. The second half of the baseball season next Friday. And then we're rolling on into the playoffs and then football season in 9 weeks. Get ready for those 49ers! Revenge this season, my friends. Revenge! Or it's for you Spanish people out there, Revancha! It's a biddle. Something like that. I know what it means, shut up! Where's Rosa? I can't see her. You barely heard her. She's, she lost her voice. She has laryngitis. Did I say laryngitis? John Laurinaitis! Laryngitis! People power, baby! I'm back! No, you're not. Get out of here. I'm about to lose my voice now. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so Excalibur, the biggest Met fan I know, Taz, and Tony Baloney Schiavone, or Tony Schiavone for people that love Jericho. Speaking of Jericho, I got a new song out, with Fozzy. I think it's called, what's it called? online or something like that. But, yeah, new Fozzy. Go check it out. Tell Chris I said hello. I met Chris Jericho. Good guy. You think he's full of shit, but he's not. Good guy. Good man. Like Mike Santana will be when I meet him next weekend in Jersey. But that's another story for another time. Alright, so we start off Dynamite with the opening sequence. Then we have the CEO, the 6 bells, Mercedes Moné. Hogan. Brother. So Mercedes Moné comes out in her best Beyonce Carter gear. That stupid country album. Ugh. I love Beyonce, like, doing a country album, country pop album, or like we're thinking, we're going, what's that guy's name? Can't think of his name. Gonna take my horse to the old town road, gonna ride to a camp. That guy. So basically, yeah, Beyonce's that album sucked. I can't sing country music. I can't. There's certain people in country that I kind of like Kenny, old school, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, and shit like that. But that's old. When I was a little bitty Hulkster dude. When my dad would play Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton up for wazoo. I'm like, what are we listening to? What is this? I grew up on the, Elvis and 60s, 70s rock and roll. From my dad and my uncles and shit. But now, when I got older, when I got into the 80s, which is the best decade ever! Fight me on it. I dare you. The 80s, great music. Pop, freestyle, metal, even some early rap. With the Beastie Boys, basically. And Grandmaster Flash, of course. Yeah. Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Ha ha ha. Big shit. Even the early days of Ice Cube and NWA. Straight out of Compton, mother none Ice Cube. Express yourself. Do it. Okay, I'm not gonna sing anymore. Alright, so we start with Mercedes Moné. She comes out, talks about timeless Tony Storm, darling, bosom. Before their match on Saturday. So she wants to keep this a little bit civil, right? But sounds rather, contradictory, condescending at the same time. Tony pops up on the Tron. And then Mercedes like, you get your ass out here right now. So, on cue, Tony and Luther, they come out with some champagne. Mina, because you know where Mina was. Mina was getting pounded. Like she should, because she's my 4th wife. Anyway. So she comes out with some champagne, some little pissy piss. So Mercedes suggests they should have a toast. That didn't work, because Tony doesn't really think of Mercedes' flattery, because I don't get you nowhere. As genuine as a spray tan in a rainstorm. Oh my god. Okay. So Tony thinks that Mercedes is talking down to her like an underdog. Underdog is here! Which makes her a two-faced fraud. So Mercedes got all pissy about that. Says, the more hatred the fans give to me, the more motivated I become. Okay, some point to that. And she calls herself the Alpha, the Omega, and everything in between. Well, we all know the Alpha is Takeshita. Omega is Kenny. You're just some bitch, with 6 belts. Basically. Anyway, Tony says none of that matters because legacies mean nothing. Pretty much. Depends on the people, of course. All that matters is the time when they face off, because Mercedes, you deserve every title in wrestling except this one, meaning the AEW Women's title. So then they toast, and Tony tells her to eat shit, bitch! Ha! Whoo! And then he's still like, can't fight! And then Tony steals her hat, or Mercedes, cowboy hat. And then she starts, she puts the hat on and starts in the ring. Eat shit, bitch. That's why I tell my haters all the time. Eat shit. Because the privacy is the best thing running today. Anything else will be uncivilized. Right, Terry Hogan? That's right, brother. Okay. Moving on. Alright, so I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we hear from the AEW World Champion, John Moxley. Talks about the Hangman Adam Page about to do some cowboy shit at All In, and that hellacious, it's gonna be bloody. We love blood here. We love violence, but we don't condone violence. We love it, but we don't condone it. Remember that. Clip that. So the Hangman Adam Page about to do some cowboy shit in that Texas death match. Basically talks about Hangman beating him in a Texas death match before, but that was a long time ago, a couple of years ago, actually. So Mox finds the Hangman pathetic, but Adam Page has one chance left to do it, so he better not blow it. He better not, because I don't know who else could beat fucking Mox at this point, unless... I hate bringing him in. Say you long. Hi guys! It's me, Darby! I'm stuck on some mountain again! Yeah, you're stuck on a space needle. Why don't you jump off, fucker? I'm gonna do it for you, Mr. Joseph, because you're a great guy! Okay. Thanks. Get out of here. And take fucking Orange Cassidy with you, that fucking idiot. What's sad about saying all that? I meant Darby. And Orange Cassidy, which is strange. You know why? Because I'm a very important people. Very important Peter, Mr. VIP, that's me. I meet lots of great people and you don't. Alright, we move on. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. First match out of the gate, we have a tag team match player with Teddy Long. Well, my condolences go out to Teddy Long. I talked about a story that his son died. I think it was his son. It is true. He had a death in Teddy Long had a death in the family, so my condolences go out to Teddy Long, player, and his beautiful family, and the loss of their family member. So, not great. All right, so we had the Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito, who's going to be taking on Takeshita tonight at Ring of Supercard. I hope Bandito wins, but I mean we'll have to see. Don Callis on commentary, that idiot. So Bandito teams up with the big man, Brody King from the Hounds of Hell, even though there is no Hounds of Hell. They don't even talk about it. They have just Julia Hart just hanging out with Sky Blue, and Brody's just, in his ski mask looking like a freaking bully. Not even a bully, like a really bad, not bad, but... yeah, with that ski mask, he looks like a bank robber. Like he's about to kill you or some shit. Anyway, so they team up against the Protostar, Kyle Fletcher, who's got a TNT title match against my good buddy. You know him as Chugs, but I know him as Adam Cole, baby! For the TNT title, a rematch from 2023's All In. I think Adam Cole, baby, will retain, hopefully, but we'll see. We'll get that. Alright, I'm not gonna go through all the match because I want to get to my predictions in a little bit. So we're about an hour away from SmackDown and the Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. Alright, so it's a pretty much back and forth match. If I can get my notes correct. Stupid computer. 12-minute match. We get a DDT, plants Fletcher. Brody King comes in off the hot tag with a running cannonball in the corner. Fletcher knocks Brody down. And then we get a double down, or double down. That's 4 times some fun. Bandito comes in that hits a Hurricane Rana on Takeshita for a near fall, but then Takeshita knocks him into the corner. A middle rope super bomb is countered into a Hurricane Rana. Ouch. But then Kyle Fletcher made the save, and then all 4 men are in the ring. Brody misses a charge into the barricade. Ow! And then they get back in. Bandito's twisting flippy dibbity doo off the top. Gets forearmed out of mid-air by Takeshita, who picks up pretty much a limp Ring of Honor champion Bandito. He is raging fire! 1, 2, 3, he pins the Ring of Honor World Champion, but it wasn't for the title, so he wins the match. So we see if he can do it tonight at Supercard. I don't think he will, but you never know. So it was a decent match, 3.25 out of 5 stars for that, and we move on. All right, after that, get to one of my favorite tag teams in AEW. You know them, you love them. They follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum together. We're going back to 1985. The Outrunners. Alright, so we hear from them. They're not too happy with their loss last week on Collision to FTR in that little bloody as fuck match. Great match. Probably the match of Collision this year. And they're going to fight tomorrow afternoon on 0 Hour. We're running this back again. I hope the Outrunners win, but we get that. But before we get to that, FTR, Daxie Axe Hardwood, that idiot Stokely Hathaway, and look out! Cash Wheeler's got a clock! So, they're there with the Patriarchy, Christian! And we have Kip Sabian, the Ring of Honor TV champion, which I'm surprised he's not defending the title at Supercard. Or is he? I don't have the card in front of me. But Nick fucking Wayne, and we all know who's with him. Nick Wayne's mom has got it going on. Yes. Scrumptious she is. Anyway, Christian promises to win the tag team belts because they have that triple threat match. I don't know how they got in there, but we'll go with it. So we got the Hurtson, we got Shelty Baby. Happy birthday to you, by the way. I think he's 50 years old. God bless that man. I'm almost 50. I mean. But Shelton looks a little bit better than me. Okay, I admit that. Shelton looks, bigger, stronger. I might be 48, and Shelton's like 50. I think he's 50 or 51, somewhere around there. But at least he doesn't get mocked by Mia Yim continually on Twitter. Sorry, dude. I know it's all in good fun because they're good friends, but, moving on. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so I got Shelty Baby and Bobby Lashley defending the tag team belts against Christian and his son, Nick Wayne, against Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and Speedball, Mike Bailey. So we'll see what happens with that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see new tag team champions, and it could be the first ever, which is not, for the Sun tag team of Christian and Nick fucking Wayne. But we'll see. I hope we get the Hurts and get to retain, but I doubt it. But anyway. Alright, so Stokely doesn't like that FTR isn't in the title match, but doesn't think much of the Patriarchy either. And then I think he said, "Oh, if you guys win, we get first shot." Shit, I don't know. But we got that. Moving on from there. So I get that 3 to 5 stars. All right, back to the ring we go. We have Rick O'Shit and his new group, the Gates of Agony. We all know who they are. Toa Leona and Bishop Quan. I know not Quan. If you don't play Final Fantasy IX, you do not get that reference. I think you need to play it. Great game. Probably one of my top 3 favorite Final Fantasy games. We all know my number one is and always will be Final Fantasy VII OG. I mean the remake is great. Rebirth is amazing, and the third one, whenever that comes out, probably next year, 2027, which tentatively is titled Reborn, something like that, or Reunion, something like that. That's going to be amazing, because that's basically the end of the game. Because we're like halfway through, not even halfway through, like disc 1.5, almost like disc 2. So we got disc 2 and 3, which is going to be the entire third game. I don't know how they're going to get all that in there with some of the new stuff that might be coming in, and possibly some DLC. Because we didn't get much in Integrate and in Rebirth. Not much. And I think in Remake we didn't get that much DLC either. So. And who knows, on the horizon, Final Fantasy 17. I mean, there is a new Final Fantasy coming out, but it's Final Fantasy Tactics. I forgot the actual name. It's Final Fantasy Tactics something. Not that I played the original. Original's like, I don't like that. I played it once, I'm like, what the hell is going on? How am I supposed to do this? I was like, fuck this. It's one of the Final Fantasy games I don't like, which is Tactics. I do not, and I repeat, do not like 13-2. I do not particularly like X2. I mean, Dirge of Cerberus is okay, the one with Vincent in it, where you play as Vincent the entire game. Great game. Plot's kind of Lightning Returns, which is like very 13-3. I don't really particularly like that one either. But. And then 11 and 14 were basically what's it called? M-Morgs or something like that. Basically online versions, which I don't really care for. So, hopefully 17, when 17 comes out, it's going to be as great as 16 was. Woo, 16 was great. And the DLC with that. Ugh. I missed the puppy in that fucking game. Jorgo! A cute little puppy. I'm gonna cry now. Getting overclamped. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Greatest Final Fantasy games. Go, discuss. Okay. Anyway, alright, so out of that, Ricochet, with the Gates of Agony, beats the fuck out of Blake Christian, who I think they beat up last week on Collision. So get this match. I don't know where Lee Johnson was. He wasn't. I don't remember him seeing him at ringside. Anyway, I thought it was going to be a little bit short, but it went 7.5 minutes. We go to break. We come back with Ricochet kneeing Blake Christian out to the floor, charges right into a Spanish fly. Nice. I lost my notes. Back to my notes. Back to my notes. Stop. 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 Thank you. Now I lost my notes again. Sorry, guys. But yeah, basically Ricochet wins with the Spirit Gun, or whatever its stupid fucking move is. So he wins the match, and then the Gates of Agony come back out, beat the fuck out of Blake Christian some more. Yeah. Yeah, they basically, Gates of Agony come out and basically kill Blake Christian, so... It felt like we had murder this week. Sami Zayn gets killed, Jey Uso gets killed, Jimmy's gonna get killed at Saturday Night's main event, because he's gonna face Solo for the United States title. You know, the other members of MFT are gonna be there, JC Mateo, Hikuleo, Tonga Loa. Jacob might come out and help, but, you know. But we're a few short weeks away from the OTC 1 coming back. That's Roman. Because his new gimmick is now going to be called the Original Tribal Chief 1. What is this, version 1? What is this, Matt Hardy? He's going to come out, I can slam a tornado! And we're going to have Matt Fax. Matt Hardy loves a big meaty cheeseburger. Like Roman, come on. Roman is the tribal chief, or we know. Roman makes Issa's panties wet. We know that too. No wonder there's floods in Puerto Rico almost every day. Kidding. But, sorry, I'm sorry. You know how she loves Roman. I love my Asian chicks. I mean, do I flaunt how much cum comes onto my dick every time the fucking Asuka, Kairi, Io, and Mina come out? Like there's a big pile of jizz on my fucking... Okay, I'm getting weird. No one wants to hear that. Okay. You get the picture, I hope. But no. Alright. So after the Gates of Agony beat the crap out of Christian, MJF with the Hurt Syndicate is ready for Mark Briscoe, the funky chicken himself, and as always, we pay homage to you, sir! Jay Briscoe, reach for the sky, boy. Alright, with that promo battle they got coming up, they find a message from Jet Speed on, like, a blackboard, and they stole the tag team belts. And then MVP, they get all mad, and MVP's like, someone is going to die! Yeah, basically, Jet Speed committed freaking burglary on live TV. Alright, so we get that. Alright, before we get to the Talkie Talk segment with MJF and Mark, we got a video for Kenny by God Omega! Bang! And the Continental Breakfast of Champions champion, Kuchka Okada. Well, Kazuchika, Kuchka. Cooch Okada. Looking at how we got there. And some songs saying this is the end. So many songs with this is the end in it. It's the end of the world as we know it. Leonard Bernstein. Okay. That's a great song. If you don't like REM, for you. Alright, so then we go to the Talkie Talk segment. Mark Briscoe borrows a sign that MJF has a tiny pecker. Kosher tiny pickle. Mr. Pickle. It's an actual thing called Mr. Pickle. I'm not kidding. Mr. Pickle. Back in the 80s. Early 90s. So they go off for a chat. Mark brings up the pickle thing again. Or at least your truth might not like that. Because she has to sleep with that guy that has a Michael cock. I'm sorry, Alicia, that's true. Why did you pick him? Give me. Right, if you want, if you like that kind of thing, but go ahead. I mean, if he's giving you pipe, like minuscule micro cock pipe, basically. If it pleases you, go ahead. Mine's big enough, so Rosa gets too much of it. Might have a smackdown later if she plays her cards right. But, she has laryngitis, so she can't scream so much. Anyway, moving on. MJF calls calls that the stupidest thing I ever heard. Then he tells Mark not to throw rocks at somebody with a machine gun. Nice Roddy Piper reference. I was rowdy before rowdy was cool. He was. God rest his mighty soul. So he wants him to take a walkie-walk back to the meth lab in Sandy Fork, Delaware. Ow. So Mark says, we're on the way to All In. So that's ass whooping day, which is tomorrow. But right now, we're going to talkie talk. He talks about being a proud redneck, worked hard to put every dollar in his pocket. He's a very rich man in a lot of ways. Well, thanks to, Kerry Silken and, Thanks to Kerry Silken. Thanks to Mr. Obari, because I went to New Japan. Thanks to TNA in some ways. And now thanks to Tony Khan. Getting a lot of money. With his, with the members of his bro and shit. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't really talk about his kids. There's like 9, 10 kids. Good lord. So he's a very rich man in a lot of ways, but MJF is morally bankrupt and has no soul. So he knows... Oh, my notes are going bad. Stop it! He knows that MJF is going to talk some garbage, some caca, about his brother, so he's like, go ahead and talk about my bro! Why not? But instead... Max praises Jay, but he actually pities Jay, and then he commits more bullshit. He says, Jay's looking down on you, Mark, and he's like, it should have been you in that car accident, not me. I was like, oh, come on! And then Mark, what are you gonna do? Mark's gonna take that. Mark took him down, beat the fuck out of him. And then, we get that. That's pretty much the talky talk. You knew Max was gonna say some bullshit about Jay. Did you take that lightly? I didn't think so. You know, if Jay was alive today, Jay would have came out and beat the fuck out of Max. They would have had bloody wars. And freaking Jay Briscoe would have annihilated Maxwell Jacob Fartnock on the mic. You know he does. You know he would. I mean, all those promos he did in Ring of Honor and some in TNA were just so fucking good. He was great on the mic. Mark, he has his moments. I'm not going to say anything bad about his wrestling ability because he's a great wrestler. Former 13-time tag team champion, former Ring of Honor champion. Now, I'm not going to say that, oh, they gave the belt to Mark because of Jay. No, he earned that shit. He earned beating Jericho. Said that he lost the belt, which I didn't really particularly like. I was hoping Mark had a nice little run with the belt, but we move on. Alright. I'm gonna have to do this manually because my notes are bad. I gotta do some on my phone. My eyes are bad. My eyes are bad. Crap. I'm sorry, guys. I'm wasting time, and I got things to do. But other than that, it was a good show. I'm trying to get my notes back. We did have a women's match, which I really want to get to. We're gonna get to it. Hopefully. Come on. Come on. There you go. Okay. Don't need to. For now. I'll hold that off. Ah! My notes went completely kaputski. Because my computer is kaputski. What it is. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it doesn't. Alright. As I reload. That's what she said. Reload! Thank you. Someone's gonna talk to your computer like, God! Alright, so after that, the patriarchy, well, what am I talking about? Yeah. So then the Hurt Syndicate come out, try to jump Mark, but then Jet Speed comes in from behind, jumps them, and then they got beaten down severely, which you rarely see from them. And then the Patriarchy comes in to help take out the Hurt Syndicate, including a concerto to Bobby Lashley's knee. Aye! The Almighty's not so almighty now. Eesh. Well, I hope he should be okay for Saturday. We might have a little limp. Who knows? Alright, yeah. So we'll see what happens with the tag team belts on Saturday. We might see a title change, but excuse me, we will have that. Alright, then we get to a fatal four-way match for the number 2 spot in the Women's Casino Battle Royale. We had the Megasus, Megan Bayne, the Spider Lady, Thekla, the one and only Queen Aminata, and Sammy Guevara's hot wife, Ty Mello. And it was a pretty good match. Megan Bayne gets the win and is number 2 in the Casino Battle Royale. Number 1 is Chris Statlander. I thought it was going to be Willow. Willow should have been in this match, but still. But Megan Bayne gets the win over on Queen Aminata with the running power slam. Running powerbomb, I should say. So they gets the win, and the match was meh. Alright, see if, why isn't my notes going down? As always. Alright, so we got that. And we'll move on, hopefully. So, alright, so we'll move on with that. Hopefully I can get these results. I can't even see what I'm halfway doing. Give me 1 sec. 1 second. I'm sorry that I'm wasting time. Alright, so we're gonna get into it, hopefully. Ring of, 0 hours about to start, so, crap. I hate doing this on the fly, but, so, in any case, okay, now, alright, we're gonna get them right now. Alright, so, let me quickly go to my backup notes on my phone, because I have them on the computer. I don't have I have two sets of notes. Alright, so Megan Bayne wins the Battle Royale, the number 2 spot in the Casino Battle Royale with a running Ligo Bomb. And then after the break, Queen Aminata jumps Declaw, but they're quickly separated. And then Mark comes in, because he's nuts, and rants about MJF with vengeance being sworn. Alright, then we get to Samoa Joe taking on William Useless, Yuta, we all know him. William Yuta is that the guy that scares himself. Samoa Joe beats his ass in under 8.5 minutes with the Coquina clutch. William Yuta does what he does best, taps out. And then after the match, Gabe Kidd comes out and runs in to take out Joe, but then Shibata and Will Hobbs run them out of the ring, and that's how the Trios Championship match is going to happen. So we got Shibata, Joe, and Will Hobbs defending the Trios titles against Gabriel Kidd, William Useless, Yuta, and the Swiss, Claudio Castagnoli. I don't think they're gonna win, but probably gonna be and still your Trios champions, the Ops. So we got that. Alright, moving on. Alright, actually, that leads to, so the Ops stay out. They team up with Will Ocean's Way, Rich Sky Woo! And the Hangman, Adam Page, about to do some cowboy shit. They take on the Young Bucks, Matthew Alexis Jackson, and the rest of the Death Riders, meaning Claudio and Mox. And, 8-man tag, because Joe's not in it, obviously. Crazy match. It ends with, Moxley. I don't know why that happened, but Moxley, I believe, got the win. I'm reading off my Moxley choked Shibata out, so poor Shibata got choked out, took the pin, took the loss, in over 10.5 minutes, so the Death Riders and the Bucks get the win, but then after the match, a lot of chaos happens. We got a big old beatdown. Moxley grabs a chain, and another big old beatdown. Bucks leave have the plastic bags. They're about to suffocate Hangman Adam Page, but then we see Swerve outside the arena in a forklift. Starts talking shit about the Bucks. Then he takes the crane or whatever that thing is, smashes their limousine to bits. The Bucks are mad. And then Samoa Joe comes back in to help out the good guys. And then Claudio cuts off the buckshot lariat. And then they pretty much, everybody bails except the Bucks are still on the outside. The Death Riders leave, and then Swerve and Prince Nana come in. And basically, the Bucks get beat up to end the show. That pretty much ends Dynamite. So we'll move on with that. Alright. Alright, so I gave Dynamite 7 out of 10 stars. And now, hopefully, we can get to Collision. which the rating for Collision actually went down a little bit. Went down like 323,000 on a Thursday. AEW's was about 650,000, which did not beat NXT, so NXT won this week in the ratings. Big fucking whoop. Let me see if I can get the Collision results. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Gotta go in my notes. Alright, so Collision, once again, from the same arena. Tony Baloney, Schiavone, and Nigel Guinness-Milov on commentary. Alright, so we started off with... this is the final show before everything this weekend. Alright, started with the Don Callis family of Fletcher, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero, let's say, taking on the Paragon of Adam Cole, baby, Buddy, Roger Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly, Auto Parts. So we did see a little tussle between Adam Cole, baby, and Kyle Fletcher, which was, a little preview for Saturday afternoon. A half suplex, drops Cole, comes right back with a Panama City Sunrise for a near fall. And then he goes for the boom, it gets cut off. But then Kyle O'Reilly and Roddy come back in and basically they take Rocky Romero out, I think the high-low. And then Adam Cole pins Rocky Romero. Why not? Because he takes pins like he's basically the whore, the prostitute of the Don Callis family, taking L's basically. So taking D's, he takes L's. Alright, so the Paragon get the win in under 14 minutes. That's great. Always love to see when Adam Cole wins. Then after the match, Adam Cole, baby, and Kyle Fletcher have a little bit of a stare down. And then Don Callis says, "Don't take the bait." Telling Fletcher, "Don't take the bait." So then Kyle Fletcher's like, "I'll see you in the parking lot." No, he says, "I'll see you Saturday." And we got that. Alright. Then we get some special footage from Dynamite, which is basically a promo from Moxley and Gabriel Kidd, who don't think much of the talent around in AEW. Gabe Kidd wants to face his mentor Shibata, which is going to be happening, which is going to be later in the night. So that's pretty good. Student versus teacher. As we all know, the student is Gabe Kidd, teacher is Shibata, because they rest at Shibata's dojo and shit. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, then we get a Technique by Taz video, like we need one of those. Basically looking at Mystico's La Mystica move. Basically is a real sports presentation. Wow. Okay, we didn't need that. Let me move on. Alright, then we gotta look at Scorpio Sky, who I guess we can't say re-debut, but he came back to basically beat Max Caster in that garbage 5-minute challenge last week. So we see that, along with Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, Top Flight, Darius and Dante Martin, and the lovely Layla Gray. And, now they're all collectively called Skyflight. Could have been worse. Could have been called SC Flight or some shit. Instead of SCU! Could have been called SC Flight, SC Top Flight or some shit like that. 4 guys and a chick! Oh, actually, 3 guys and a chick. Lucky Leda Gray, huh? I digress with that. Alright, then we got Mystico taking on the Beast! Mortas, that's basically Mr. CEO, Mr. Renee, I guess you can say. In a way. Pretty good match. Mystico Sin Botch gets the win with La Mystica. And, basically finishes the Beast Mortos off in under 11 minutes. And after that match, MJF is on the Tron with, MVP. And basically, he has one of Mystico's masks. Like, I'm gonna take all your masks! And that's, Basically, he says, I'm going to beat Mark in under 3 seconds. Right. Then I'll keep collecting Mystico's mask until we actually see his face. Kind of did when you took the mask off, even though we saw it briefly, for a second, and he covered up his face, because that's what the luchadors do when they get their mask stolen or taken off. Yeah, we get that. Speaking of Mark Briscoe, he cuts a promo saying he's coming to win the Casino Gauntlet match, which is business, but the stuff with MJF is personal, y'all. And he's getting pissed. He's getting really mad after what happened on Dynamite. And he says, I have to beat you, Max. I have to whoop that ass. Straight and simple to the point for Mark. Mark is ready to beat the fuck out of Maxwell Jacob Fart Knocker. We get that. Alright, after Dynamite, we get a promo from the Hangman Adam Page about to do some cowboy shit. I wanted to talk about what happened, but not with Renee Paquette. He wants to talk it over with Swerve. So they talk about, it's like, you deserved, my house. I want to, Swerve talks about Hangman's, when Hangman burned down his childhood house. He's like, I wanted to raise my kids there, my grandkids there. I wanted them to see what I went, where I lived and all that shit. And then Hangman's like, well, you broke into my house. My son can't even get up anymore because he thinks you're in the house. Like, shit. But eventually, through the end of this promo, they kind of made amends, technically. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Swerve help Hangman get the belt. Because it's going to be chaos. So they kind of, they made a so basically Swerve and Adam Page kind of, threw down the gauntlet, per se. It was like, let's let bygones be bygones. So a step in the right direction to a possible team-up. We got that. And then out of the blue, Moxley and Marina Shafir come out, and Mox's like, what the fuck was that shit? And then Marina just takes the mic and says, Adam Page, you a pussy! Damn. Marina Shafir is pissed! She went into period mode. Look out, Roddy! I digress. We got that. Alright, then we get to FTR teaming up with the Patriarchy, Nick Wayne and Christian. They team up with Dax Hollywood and Cash Glock Wheeler to take on the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd, and Truth Magnum, and Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey in an 8-man tag. An all-star 8-man tag. Went a long time. 18 minutes. We're getting to the end. Shadow Machine gets broken up. Speedball Sunset flips Dax for a very near full, 2.99999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999 They go for Total Recall. Actually, they hit Total Recall, sends Christian to the outside, and then Kevin Knight's Kevin Knight spinning blah 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 dingy make it blah blah blah. Finishes off Dax. They get the win in a pretty good match, and that's it. Nothing afterwards. Yeah, that's it. Nothing afterwards. We move on. Alright, then we get to where we wish we didn't have this segment on Collision last night. Big Boom AJ, that stupid twerp kid. Those idiots that said Roman's better than they're better than Roman. Right. Alright. Big Boom AJ's back. Wants the Don Callis family. For what reason, I don't know. Big Justice, that stupid kid, and the Rizzler, who needs to eat some more Twizzlers. They come in to meet Hologram and Tomohiro Ishii. Not Ishii, it's Ishii. So they come in to meet them. I don't know why. Then the Don Callis family come in. They issue a challenge to them. For 0 hour, yes, for 0 hour, nobody cares! Alright, so we got like a 6-man tag team match. For what reason, I don't know. So I think we're going to have like a Chasero. Well, Takeshi's, well, maybe, no, Takeshi's tonight. I don't know if he has a match tomorrow. Takeshi might be in that match, but I don't think he will, but who knows. So it'll probably be a Chasero and Roppongi Vice taking on Big Justice, Ishii, and Hologram. Big whoop. Nobody's gonna watch that. Alright, then FTR wants revenge on the Outrunners, and they issue a challenge for 0 Hour, which was accepted, so we're gonna see that tomorrow. I hope the Outrunners win, but who knows. Alright, then we get the Shibata and Gabe Kid, and like I mentioned, Gabe Kid pinned Shibata, so the student bested the teacher. It felt like an old school New Japan match, which is great. Good match. Alright, then we get to the final match of Collision, an all-star 8-woman match for no apparent reason. Chris Statlander on commentary. We had Widow Nightingale, wrestling front girl, bam! We had Thunder Rosa, yay! Who's going after Athena's Ring of Honor Forever belt. She ain't gonna win in her home state. I hope she doesn't win. I like her and all, but she's not winning. No way. Not no way, not no how! Alright, so they team up with my girl, Mina! Love you, baby. And the one and only Queen Aminata. They take on Athena. We're getting a lot of time on Ring of Honor lately. Not Ring of Honor. Sorry, on Dynamite and Collision lately. So that could possibly could be a title change tonight, and Athena goes to the main roster. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. So Athena, Declaw, again teaming up with the Megasis Megan Bayne and Julia Hart with Penelope Ford at ringside, of course, and my girl Billy Starks. It was a good match. Once again, actually, Willow pins Julia Hart with Babe with a powerbomb after Mina knees Julia Hart right in the face. So that's it. They get the win. And then after the match, to end the show, big old women's brawl. Felt like Evolution came in. What is this? This ain't Evolution. Big old brawl. Big old cat fight! And, why do my notes just reload? I hate when that happens. Don't you hate when that happens? Alright, so, yeah, they fight, and, pretty much that ends the show. Yeah, they fight. Ty Mello and Anna got a fat ass and a mean attitude. Anna Jay, they run in and join the brawl. So, like, 10 women beating the fuck out of each other. You gotta love that! And that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so that ends Collision. So both shows were pretty decent. I think Dynamite was a little bit better than Collision, so I gave Dynamite 7 out of 10 stars. Collision, I gave 6.5 out of 10 stars. Well, it's not what I think. What do you guys think of Collision and Dynamite this week? Leave it down below in a comment. If you wish, you can do your own video if you want. I don't give a fuck what you do. That's that. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, and we'll talk about it like Trick Willie would say. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got 25 minutes to Supercard, the official Supercard show, and SmackDown. So I'm going to quickly run over to my TKC Reborn channel and do my Ring of Honor Supercard predictions. Get that out of the way real quick, and then later tonight, after SmackDown, we will talk about All In, and we'll talk about NXT Great American Bash. And then, hopefully, after that video, I'll do a 4th video talking about SmackDown. Or I might do it early tomorrow. We'll see how I feel. But if I do it tomorrow, it's going to be early tomorrow. Like before All In. We'll talk about SmackDown. And then we'll do another predictions video for the Saturday Night's Main Event. And then we'll do the review for All In and the Great American Bash tomorrow night after Saturday's Main Event goes off the air. And then I'll try to get Saturday's Main Event in a separate video. So I'm going to do a lot of separate videos, except for a few of them are going to be 2 in 1. So we got that. So get ready for all those. Please hit that bell, because if you miss anything this weekend, oh, I'm going to come to your house and make you watch all those videos, my friends. And that's all I got to say about that. Alright, I got to get out of here. Really, get out of here now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in a little bit over on my Shadow Slayer channel. But until next time, peace!